Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility. It's Wednesday. It's new album review day. Today we've got a brand new one, hot off the presses. Came out the first week in January, so it's just a couple weeks old. This is a band from Boston that I have never listened to before. This was recommended by some of our viewers, and it's their fourth album, and this is on Century Media Records. The band is called Wilderun. The name of the album is Epigone. Here we go. Got a little bit of glare there today. So, like I mentioned, a band from Boston. This is, I guess, the best way to describe this band is they are a progressive, extreme metal band with lots of folk and symphonic tendencies. I guess progressive death metal, sort of, right? A lot of clean vocals, some death growls, layers of guitars, keyboards, orchestrations, that whole thing. Like I mentioned, this is their fourth album. This follows A Veil of Imagination from 2019. The previous albums are Sleep at the Edge of the Earth and Olden Tales and Deathly Trail. So I have heard of this band over the years. Wilderun, it's spelled Wilderun. So I guess Wilderun, however they say it. Let's take a look at the album here. Why don't we? There are the guys in the band. All right, the band is comprised of Evan Anderson Berry on vocals, electric and acoustic guitars, Joe Gettler on lead guitar, Wayne Ingram on orchestrations, electric lap steel, resonator guitar, mandolin, and baritone guitar, Daniel Mueller on bass, synthesizers, sound design, and dulcimer, and John Tichy on drums. Produced by the band, mixed by Jens Bogren, mastered by Tony Lindgren. So got some heavyweights working on the album here. And here's the booklet. Kind of cool. Got pics of the guys. Can I kind of get the folky kind of atmospheric vibe about this whole thing, right? That's exactly what it's all about, for sure. Here we've got, I don't know, the best I can kind of explain this band. This was a pleasant surprise. Like I said, this was highly recommended to me. A bunch of people were already proclaiming that this was probably going to be their favorite release of 2022. And I was like, okay, well, it's kind of early in the year, right, to be saying stuff like that. But hey, I'm always up for the challenge of trying something new. And the first thing I thought of listening to this album, actually a couple things. Imagine, if you will, take maybe Blackwater Park, Ghost Reveries, Deliverance and Damnation era Opeth. Throw in a little Anathema. Throw in a little Devin Townsend solo. Throw in a little Steven Wilson solo. Specifically not the most recent Steven Wilson album, but like The Raven and those type of things. That's kind of what you get here. It's very atmospheric. It's very lush, very melodic. There's tons of clean vocals on here. Spectacular clean vocals, I would say. Some really good death growls. And again, by really good death growls, I mean kind of like classic era Opeth. I always thought Michael Ackerfeld was a tremendous death metal growler and also had the great clean vocals. Very similar to what's going on here. It's a very progressive sounding album. Progressive meaning like 70s prog, mixed with lots of atmosphere, lots of soaring melodies. It's a really beautiful album. In spots, it's a really heavy and savage album, but I would say the kind of more folky symphonic parts of the album, I think, overshadow the death metal aspects of the album, but there's plenty of both, obviously. A lot of epic stuff on here. So you got starts with a track called Exhaler, which is just under 5 minutes long. That's really mellow and lush and melodic. Great vocals there. Then it kicks off into the 14-minute Wool Gatherer, and that gives you like a little bit of everything that this band is all about. The soaring melodies, the acoustic and electric guitars, the death metal growls, the clean vocals, the keyboards and synths and things like that. Really, really cool song. Really, really cool song. From there, they go into Passenger. That's about 10 minutes long. Again, kind of similar things. They're just kind of keeping you on the edge of your toes. You're like absolutely going back and forth between just the gorgeous melodies and arrangements to then the more, extreme metal parts of their sound. Really well done. And it doesn't let up from there. Then it goes into Identifier, which is over 11 minutes long, another big epic piece of progressive extreme metal, symphonic prog metal storytelling. Really like that a lot. Ambition is like a very tranquil little short track. All right. Then you've got the multi-part Distraction, which is a three-part epic. Again, it's probably about like 16 or 17 minutes long. Incredible. Really, really good. Really enjoy that quite a bit. And you can I guess it's kind of four parts, because you got Distraction 1, 2, 3, and then Distraction Nulla, which is at the end. So I guess technically it's probably closer to a 20-minute epic right there. Really well done. I love the arrangements on it. The vocals are out of control great. The clean vocals are terrific, really melodic, really lush, really emotional. And then when they do hit you with the growling vocals, it's a really nice touch to hear them both so well done together. And again, it brings me back to classic Opeth, because they were one of the bands that did that so well and incorporated the electric and acoustic guitars and the keyboards and the light and the shade and all that sort of thing. So really fun album. And then you've got a bonus track on the CD, which is a cover version of Everything in Its Right Place, which is a Radiohead track. I'm not terribly familiar with Radiohead, other than like, a handful or two of songs. But this is really good. It just if you didn't know any better, you would just think it's just another song on the album, and it's done really, really well. It's kind of heavy, but not overly, kind of proggy. Really good. I'm digging this. Wilderun Epigone, fourth album. From what I've read, and from what most people have said, this is, a 4.5 or 5 star out of 5 classic. I would kind of agree. Although a lot of people say, as great as this is, their prior 2 albums, or maybe all 3 of them, might even be better. Kind of incredible to even think of that, as good as this is. So I'm going to have to go back and investigate these guys even more. So, but I'm happy I did. So this already is becoming one of my, it's definitely a keeper and a great release here in January of 2022. Starting off the year on the right foot with a killer progressive melodic death metal album, prog metal album, whatever the hell you want to call it, because there's a lot of everything on here. Wilderun Epigone, Century Media Records. Check it out. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. Might have one more of these coming up for you today, although I might save it for next week. It's a really good one by a great vocalist, and it's his new solo album, and it completely kicks ass, but I think I might want a little bit more time with it, so I might save it for next week. We've also got stuff, what else do we have here coming up? We've got John Lodge of the Moody Blues, The Royal Affair and After, the live album. We've got the brand new one from Soma. A couple other things, some new things, starting to filter in here at the beginning of the year. So stay tuned for lots more. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you don't miss any of these reviews, any of the shows we do. We've also got the link to our Ko-Fi page below for channel donations, the link to our webzine, and the link to our merch page, where we've got some great new Sea of Tranquility t-shirt designs available, and all sorts of great stuff there as well. So thanks for watching. I am Pete Pardo. We'll see you real soon here on Sea of Tranquility. Take care. Bye-bye.